All right. Welcome everybody to Training Tuesday. So glad you're able to join us today. On our agenda, we're going to go over updates and reminders, our fiscal year end countdown. CPO Notice 2024.08 will be released today. So we're going to go over what's going to be included in that CPO notice. I'll tell you where you can find additional bid buy trainings, and we have our Spotlight Illinois. All right, our updates and reminders. This Friday, January the 12th, bid buy upgrade will be happening. So please make sure that you are out of bid buy by 5 p.m. If you're in there working and it goes down, that won't be able to be saved. So please make sure that you are out no later than 5 p.m. this Friday from bid buy so that upgrade can occur. All right, our countdown. There are 5 months, 3 weeks, which is 173 days. Right now, you still have time to get renewals, RFPs completed. Please remember that by law, you are supposed to be looking at renewals 6 months in advance. So tied to that fiscal year end is often several renewals. Make sure that you are looking at those now. If you're needing to run a report to see if you have any renewals coming up, please make sure to refer to our ad hoc video and our ad hoc job aid to see those expiring contracts for the end of the fiscal year. Okay, we're going to jump into CPO Notice 2024.08. This CPO notice, again, is being released today. It's in response to Public Act 103-570, which became effective on January 1st, 2024. As a result of the change in law, several provisions of the standard procurement rules, which is 44 Illinois Admin Code 1, need to be updated to reflect changes to the procurement code and other statutes. In those instances where the rule conflicts with the procurement code as amended shall be the one that is followed. So again, if there's a contradiction between our rules and the code prevails. All right, so here's the changes that you're going to be seeing as a result, and that is first to 30 ILCS 500 1-10B 22. This adds a new exemption from the procurement code contracts for public education programming, non-commercial sustaining announcements, public service announcements, and public awareness and education messaging that inform the public on immediate and ongoing health and safety risks and hazards. Contracts must be with the nonprofit trade associations of the providers of those services. So CPO Notice 2019.01 provided procurement code exempt contracts version 19.1, which was an Excel spreadsheet that agencies were to use in order to report your exempt procurements. That is now updated to version 24.1, and it does include this new exemption. So again, the Excel spreadsheet looks like this, where you can enter the contractor name, the description of services, and the exemption that it falls under. That will all be on the first tab of that Excel spreadsheet. On the second tab of the Excel spreadsheet, it provides all of the exemptions that are underneath the code. All right, 30 ILCS 520-57. This new amendment adds that a contract for the licensing of software applications designed to run on generally available desktop or service hardware may not limit the agency's ability to install or run the software on any of the agency's hardware. Procurement code has also been amended for 30 ILCS 520-160. This amends subsection C, D, and E to add pending and removes annually from the calculation of bids and proposals. It removes annual and annually from the calculation of the contracts to clarify when a vendor must register with the Board of Elections. Vendor disclosures, section 5, is being updated or has been updated to reflect this change. Much like that one is 30 ILCS 550-37. This amends subsections B and C to remove annually and annual from the calculation of state contracts to clarify who is prohibited from making prohibited contributions. All right, 30 ILCS 545-35A. A2, the amendment requires the disability service serving organization or state use vendor or any of their subcontractors to pay anyone performing work on the state contract at least the applicable local or Illinois minimum wage, whichever is higher. A3, that amendment provides that the disability serving organization may be licensed by DHS or may be a center for independent living. 30 ILCS 545-45D, the amendment requires the CPO to publish the Small Business Annual Report on her website and issue a press release that includes an executive summary and a link to that report. The procurement code is additionally amended with 30 ILCS 545-57E. This amendment changes the definition of veteran-owned small business to the business that has an annual gross sale less than 15 million. This is an increase from 75 million. And I think I had a misprint there. Is 150 million. I will correct that before I send this out. 30 ILCS 545-105 amendment changes the definition of Illinois business in the preference for Illinois businesses bidding on state construction contracts. 30 ILCS 545-110, that amendment provides a preference in the award of abandoned landmine reclamation contracts with a total value of more than $100,000. The Governmental Joint Purchasing Act, 30 ILCS 525-4.05, that amendment adds that contracts awarded under Section 45-35 of the Procurement Code may be a method of joint purchase. This provides that the CPO may authorize the award of a contract to a state use vendor as a joint purchase. CPO Notice 2020.01, the Qualified Not-for-Profit Organizations for Persons with Significant Disabilities and Joint Purchasing, is being rescinded. The BEP Act, 30 ILCS 575-73. That amendment changes contractor to vendor, thereby changing application of this subsection to good faith effort waivers at solicitation from good faith effort waivers during contract performance. This adds information that must be included by the vendor when requesting a good faith effort waiver. The CPO shall publish those good faith effort waivers at solicitation on her website. The Transportation Sustainability Program, 30 ILCS 530-10C, that amendment adds that the procurement of freight, small package delivery, cargo shipping, and transportation services may be subject to the Governmental Joint Purchasing Program, or Joint Purchasing Act, sorry. The Reimagining Hotel Florence Act, this is Article 45, and then pursuant to a competitive RFP governed by the Procurement Code and rules, DNR may enter into a public-private agreement to develop, finance, construct, lease, manage, and operate Hotel Florence. The State Fair Act, 20 ILCS 210 7.1A. This exempts from the Procurement Code expenditures necessary to provide artistical and musical services, performances, events, or productions on the state fairgrounds. 7.2B still requires them to publish on bid by each notice of a contract with an annual value more than $100,000. And for the Department of Agriculture to provide the CPO a monthly report of those contracts procured pursuant to this exemption. That Excel spreadsheet that we mentioned earlier would be utilized for this as well. The CMS Law of Civil Admin Code of Illinois, 20 ILCS 405-300F, that amendment removes the requirement that the Director of CMS certify and consult with the executive director of the CDB that a lease for more than 10,000 square feet of space is in the best interest of the state. The procurement code, this is more of a reminder. This is not a change, but it is, again, a reminder. Section 15-25C-5. Each agency shall post a copy of their BEP annual report that shows utilization of businesses owned by minorities, women, and persons with disabilities, as submitted to the Business Enterprise Council for Minorities, Women, and Persons with Disabilities pursuant to Section 6C of the BEP, the Business Enterprise for Minorities, Women, and Persons with Disabilities Act within 10 calendar days after its submission of its report to the council. So in compliance with this section, each agency needs to work with their SPO to publish their fiscal year 2023 report to bid by within those 10 calendar days after submission of its report to the BEP Council. If an agency has already submitted their FY23 report to the BEP Council, then the report shall be published to bid by no later than the close of business on January 19th, 2024. So again, please work with your SPOs to get those published as soon as possible. All right. You can find additional training in our CPOGS Training Center. We have our next introduction to Illinois procurement on February the 7th. You do have to register in order to attend this course. Tomorrow, we will be offering our next Bid Buy monthly training. You can join us at any portion of the day, or if you're new to Bid Buy, we suggest attending the whole day to learn all about how to navigate in Bid Buy and how to complete procurements in Bid Buy. Our Bid Buy practice sessions are held on the second and third Thursday of each month. Those start at 9 a.m. If you're just wanting to work through something in Bid Buy and have questions about the functionalities, go ahead and bring that and we can talk about that. There is no set agenda, so just join us as you can. All right, our Spotlight Illinois. We're going to say welcome to Petersburg. Key people here were Abraham Lincoln, who worked as the first surveyor and was the first to survey the mapped land. George Warburton and Peter Lukens, they were friends of Abraham Lincoln's, and they founded Petersburg in 1833. Edgar Lee Masters was one of America's greatest modern poets and an author who lived in Petersburg. They have a square that's currently being renovated with all kinds of stuff coming to it. We have the Star Hill Forest Arboretum with 50 acres. There's visits, tours, and other uses of the arboretum are welcome by appointment. And then there is Lincoln's New Salem State Historic Site, this historic village where Abraham Lincoln resided from 1831 through 1837. They have a population of about 2,258 people, and Petersburg is the county seat of Menard County. If you have any questions, please email those over to cpogs.training@illinois.gov. Again, you will be able to find that CPO notice on our website shortly, and have a wonderful day. Thank you all.